did forget to bring my mic, so it's going to sound not the greatest quality, but we do have a couple games tonight. Usually we're just on here talking about Monday Night Football, which we do have, but we have two pretty big baseball games as well. We have a baseball game kicking off here in about 20 minutes. We have the Dodgers and the Phillies. Then after that, we do have the Cubs and the Brewers. And then the Monday Night Football game, we have the Chiefs and the Jags. But pretty good week in college football, NFL for me. And our college football, I was fine. I think I was like right around 500, maybe won or lost like $20. But I actually had a pretty big day yesterday. I did post, I did take Isaac Tesla touchdown, which won me $500. I also hit a really big parlay in the Lions game. And also I did take that round robin of Lions touchdown scores. I did tell you, I was just like, I should have taken Brock Wright. Did not have him, but I had Laporta, Gibbs, and Montgomery, which won me a decent amount of money. So I won like $1,000 on yesterday, which is crazy for a guy that bets $20 a bet. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. Was your week or was your weekend as good as that, Ethan? Or how? And how are you feeling about tonight's games?
Yeah, mine was not even close to as good as that. I had kind of a gut punch day in the NFL yesterday. I did not win, but I only had two bets. I had the Ravens, just completely wrong. I have 6 NFL losses this year, 3 of which on the Ravens. So I'm done with them for a bit. And then I had the Chargers, which 27-10, it looked like it was a dead wrong side. I actually just went back and rewatched the replay of that game, or not the full replay, but the condensed replay the NFL does. I don't know if that was such a wrong side. There was a lot going on there where, it could have been 17-7 at halftime for the Chargers. Instead, it was 10-10. Washington got the ball, scored right away. So a lot of big plays there that kind of screwed the Chargers. But, yeah, 0-2. I did win. I was just telling you before the show, I won in the WNBA, actually, won in NASCAR, won in baseball, but not so good in the NFL. Dropped like half a unit in college football, so nothing crazy there. But yeah, as far as tonight goes, looking forward to the football game, but more so looking forward to the baseball, and really looking forward to hockey tomorrow as well. Also, lost my survivor on the Cardinals yesterday, which, God, if you saw that game,
yeah, that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life.
Like, watching that game is where I understand the NFL's fixed crowd. Like, my God. And then did you see DeMarcado's interview about dropping the ball?
No.
He was like, happens to the best of us.
No one does that.
No, actually, it does not.
It does happen way too often, though.
It does.
I don't know. That needs to be ingrained to college and NFL. I just don't get it. Yeah, it's crazy. Just run through the end zone. Imagine the back of the end zone is the goal line. Like, it just... Right. Oh, yeah. But so I'm in a survivor pickle right now. For the show, I gave out the Saints, and that hit on the show. 10 minutes before kickoff, I was just thinking, I was like, I know the Giants are going to freaking win. It's going to be the one square bet that wins. So actually on our sleeper thing, I switched it to the Giants. So I'm out on our sleeper pool, but on the show, I'm alive on the Saints. So I think I'm still alive. I think I'm still giving my survivor pick out because I think you're out, Ben's out. So I'm going to act like I'm still alive. But in reality, I did switch my bet last second to the Giants. So, but on the show, I guess if you listen on the show, I am alive in Survivor. So thank God the Saints won that one.
You're the sole survivor, as they say.
Just unfortunate that I literally was just like a little hungover. I was got nervous about the bet and switched it. So that's what happens. Just trust your gut. And if you follow us at all, we usually have a pretty good record when we talk about the shows on Wednesdays and Thursdays for college and NFL. And then I do a bad thing of switching either picks or bets right before kickoff. I just get self-conscious or get nervous, and just not a good strategy. But yeah, technically alive in Survivor, but in reality, I'm not. But yeah, let's quickly talk about this baseball game because it is starting in 15 minutes here. I actually have a really strong, I do have a couple bets, but really strong lean in this Dodgers Phillies. I don't have anything yet in Cubs and Brewers. I'm going to bet it. I'm just kind of going to wait a little bit. I'm also interested to see what you got in the MLB as well. But let's start off Dodgers Phillies. What are you thinking in that game?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just posting our tweet here quick. Before I get into that, just while I'm mindlessly doing this, I also struggle with the right before kickoff changing things around. I'm about to go 6-2 the last 2 weeks in my 4 fantasy leagues. My 2 losers are the league I care most about, and it's going to be because I made a last second switch both weeks, which is just really pissing me off. I had the Browns defense, and then I had Jordan Mason and Justin Jefferson, so I was like, this is just not going to work out well. If I'm rooting for Jefferson and Mason, and then every time they score, the Browns are going to get dinged, drop Browns defense, pick up Seattle's. That was a freaking 14-point swing. So yeah, kind of upset about that. But let me just post this.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on really good betting day in the NFL, like I mentioned yesterday. 0-3 in fantasy. It never works where I can have a good betting day and a good fantasy week. It never works. It's always one or the other. And again, I'll take, $1,000 in bets. I'll take that. Like that's huge. Would just be nice if one fantasy league I could win a game, but that's just how it works for me. If I have a good fantasy week, terrible betting week, good betting week, terrible fantasy week. It just never works. But again, I can't be too upset with a pretty big day betting yesterday.
Yeah, I feel that it happens to me as well. But yeah, baseball here. I've not bet this game. I'm maybe letting the money scare me off of it, but I like the Phillies quite a bit. I actually don't even know what their current line is. Do you have that?
Yeah, the Phillies are on ESPN Bet. They are, which is not the greatest. It's a pick 'em on ESPN Bet as of right now. Both teams minus 110, over under 7.5.
I might get in on the Phillies. Okay, yeah. I think I like the Phillies. Enough to bet them, but yeah, I mean, to me, this is do or die. This is the Phillies' entire season wrapped up into one game because them and the Dodgers are both very good home teams. This year, the Phillies were 55-26 at home, just 41-40 on the road. And then the Dodgers were 52-29 at home, 41-40 as well on the road. So really tough to beat either of these teams at home. Obviously, the Dodgers were able to do so on Saturday. And I think people now are just starting to respect the Dodgers more because obviously they had a regular season that didn't live up to the preseason expectations. I know a lot of people thought this would be the best team ever formed in MLB history, better than the 26 Yankees or whatever that team was. And they just never really looked that great, but it's the Dodgers. They're going to come around in the playoffs. They're 3-0 in the playoffs, took care of the Phillies on the road. So I think people are now just thinking, okay, this is the Dodgers team we've expected all year. They're just going to run through the playoffs, get to the World Series and win it, which I think they do. But that being said, at home for the Phillies, their entire season on the line. I like the pitching edge with Luzardo over Blake Snell. And yeah, I mean, they literally cannot go down 0-2 heading to Los Angeles to play 2 games. There's no chance they win if that's the case. So yeah, I like that it's gone down to pick 'em. It was going the other way earlier today when I was about to place the bet. So I missed out a little bit, like 10 cents on the line, but that's confirmation to me that I do kind of like the Phillies. So that's the way I'm looking.
Cameron, welcome in the comments. Apologies for my audio. I forgot my mic, but just kind of going over MLB and NFL. Please let us know what you like at MLB, Cam, because I asked you for your MLB bets and you have yet to place any or give me any. Like I said, we do have Dodgers Phillies here starting in around 10 minutes. My favorite bet in MLB is in this game, and I kind of like the over in Dodgers Phillies. I know it's kind of crazy, especially a big playoff game with 2 really good pitchers. And it might be a little square. Dodgers have been just scoring a buttload in these playoffs. We saw them, put up just a crazy game against the Reds, which isn't saying much. The Reds were ass. But yeah, they scored 10-5 against the Reds, 8-4 against the Reds. And then they did probably hit the over on Saturday with a 5-3 win against the Phillies. But I do like the over as well, or also in this game. Again, 2 great pitchers. One of my favorite betting strategies in the MLB. Hasn't been doing great this year. But just when you have 2 really good pitchers, the line gets saturated pretty low. And I do like taking the over in that situation. Again, playoff baseball is different just because it's much more of a pitching battle. Starting pitchers get taken out way earlier. So I don't know how long either of these pitchers are going to stay in. I can't imagine it being more than 5-6 innings each, even though these guys are their aces or kind of the aces. But even so, I do like the over here. At 7.5. And I do like the Phillies as well. It's a must win, like you said, for the Phillies. I do have them plus 1.5. I think it was like minus 170 for the Phillies, just in case it's like a 3-2 wouldn't hit the over. But in case it's like a 5-4 or something like that, I could definitely see that happening. But I do think this is a must win for the Phillies. I like the Phillies pitching matchup. I like him, Luzardo over Snell. I know Snell's had a pretty good season so far. Hasn't played a lot, but had 9 strikeouts against the Reds, which are a strikeout prone team. But still, I do like the pitching matchup in advantage for the Phillies. Cam is taking the Phillies, taking the over. Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, I like it. We're right on board there. So I do think I have. Oh yeah, I do have like a parlay with Phillies plus 1.5, the over. I have Bryce Harper to get a hit and Sosa to get a hit for the Phillies. That's like plus 600 or something. So nothing crazy, but that would be my lean. Definitely the Phillies. And then my favorite bet is the over in that game. Do you want to jump? Let's just stay in baseball while we're at it. Cubs Brewers. I don't have a great read on this game at all. We have Imanyaga for the Cubs. We have Ashby, who I know nothing about for the Brewers. Brewers are red hot. I mean, what did they just put up last 9-3? But they were up what 9-0, 9-1 in the second or third inning. They just absolutely went explosive. So I don't have a great read here. I do kind of like the Phillies. I think Imanyaga is a much better pitcher than Ashby, and I think Ashby is going to be in there. I think his over/under on outs is like 5.5. So it's kind of going to be a bullpen day for the Brewers. Imanyaga is going to stay in there for a while because I think he's their best pitcher. But yeah, do you have a lean or a bet in Cubs Brewers?
Yeah, I like the Brewers. And ultimately, I really just think the Brewers are the better team. Also, they had the game on Saturday and then the game off. So they've only played one playoff game. All their bullpen arms, I mean, every arm in that rotation outside of Freddie Peralta is basically live and active for this game. I do think with this being a divisional opponent, I think it is a big deal for the Brewers to go up 2-0 before going to Chicago for 2. Obviously, Wrigley can get pretty wild and be a tough atmosphere to go win games. So, I think a win here for Chicago would be absolutely huge. It'd give them the hope that the Brewers can't really afford to give them. And yeah, ultimately, I just think the Brewers way better. Ashby, like you said, I don't think he lasts, too long, 3-4 innings. But he was 5-2 on the year with a 2.16 ERA. So, did pitch really well in the regular season. But yeah, ultimately, I just think, the Brewers are as healthy as you're really ever going to be in an MLB season with only playing one game in the last, I don't even know, week or so. And yeah, at home, day off, better team. I think you're kind of getting a nice price at that minus 140, 135, whatever that's sitting at. Probably like the Phillies more than I like the Brewers.
Yeah, I like that. I just locked in Phillies money line and the over as well as straight bets. So yeah, hoping for the Phillies to get this one done. Hopefully we can get some runs too in this Phillies game. That would be ideal. Do you want to jump? Let's jump to Monday night game. Jags and Chiefs. I believe the spread is still 3.5 in favor of. Let me double check that. In favor of Kansas City. Yep, 3.5. The line stayed at 3.5. Over under is 45.5. I think that's been pretty consistent as well. What's your prediction? Chiefs, Jags, Monday Night Football.
I still lean the Jags. I don't think I want to just sweat out a game against Patrick Mahomes tonight. So I think I'm going to stay off the Jags because I really could see it going either way. I could see Kansas City winning by 14. I could see Jags winning outright. I do kind of think the Jags might win it outright, but yeah, I don't know. I just, I was wrong on Kansas City last week. I liked the Ravens there, and they looked pretty good. So I don't know. I just don't know if maybe I'm just off on Kansas City right now. I don't know if they're back to the dynasty that they've been forever or if they're still having a down year. It is a tough spot for them. Off the Ravens win, Lions Sunday night on deck. So two big opponents where, the Jags are having a good year, but just historically not a team, or the last couple of years, not really a team that you'd have circled coming into the season. But it is Monday night, so, it's not really a flat spot for Kansas City. I think my favorite bet in this game would be under 45.5. I'll probably do like just a half unit on the under. Nothing huge, but that's probably my best lean. I could see this being like a 20-17, kind of similar to like that Sunday night game last night where, it was really low scoring at the first half and then got a little bit higher scoring in the second, but never really threatened to go over that total. I could kind of see it going similar to that. So I think under is my favorite play. Lean Jags, but not going to play the side.
Yeah,
I need ETN to suck. Less than 2.5 points to win my fantasy game.
2.5. Good God. Okay. I do have the Jags locked in at the plus 3.5. I don't love it, but I can't be, you get the hook there. I really do think this is going to be a low scoring game as well. So I don't hate the under. But like I said, I had a pretty big week in the NFL. So I do have a little money left in the account that I did make a pretty big bet that I'm not proud of, but I actually have to win 5 units on over 3.5 field goals in this game. I'm staying true to what I said on our Wednesday show in the NFL, where I said this is probably going to be a field goal fest. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 9-6 or 12-9 type of game. I did take the no touchdown prop over on FanDuel, $10 to win like $1,700 actually for no touchdown. Again, that's probably not going to happen. There's a reason it's plus 17,000 odds. But I do think this is going to be a field goal fest. So I do have the 5 units on the over 3.5 field goals. I do have both teams that have a field goal over 33.5 yards. That was on DraftKings. And I do have the longest field goal in this game to be over 50.5 yards. Like I did say on Wednesday that, I could see like a Cam Little, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker, to have like a game winner 66-yarder or something. So I'm just going to say true and think that what I said last Wednesday, I had a pretty good sense of the game. So I'm going to stay true to that. I think it's going to be a field goal fest. So I'm all over field goal props in this game. I don't hate either kicker. You can take them over 1.5 field goals. I just don't love that as much. I think Bucker's like minus 175 to get 2 field goals. Cam Little's like minus 140 to get 2 field goals. So I don't love that as much. Or the kicking points as well. Both kicker points are at 7.5. If it's at 7.5, I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of touchdowns in this game. So I'm worried that you're not going to get a whole lot of extra points there. But my biggest play, like I said, 5 units. I don't recommend throwing 5 units on it. I have a little bit of money. I'm getting a little risky. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a field goal fest. So I'm hoping for that. In regards to player props besides kickers, if there happened to be a touchdown score, I kind of do need ETN to pop off in my fantasy. I'm not 0-3 in fantasy. I'm 0-2 definitely. I need ETN and Cam Little to have like 33 points, which is probably going to be dead. But if it is a big Cam Little game, then maybe he can get, 15 points. If ETN gets in the end zone once, like I think I'm going to be okay. So I'm hoping for ETN. I'm seeing a lot of people take his rush yards plus receiving yards prop over on action. And I'm seeing a lot of people taking Pacheco under rushing yards. So maybe that's a sharp play. It's at like 26.5, 27.5. I don't love that as much because I just don't know how much he's going to get in this game. But it seems like a lot of people are on Pacheco under rushing yards. So maybe if that's something you're interested in, I think that's probably a sharp play. But going back to the game line, Kansas City 2-2. They had a pretty good win, which looked a lot better than it does now against the Ravens last week. But Lamar was playing majority of that game. He did go out in the late third, early fourth quarter with a hamstring. But now it turns out the Ravens are ass. Granted, the Ravens did not have Lamar this week, and they got destroyed by the Texans, who the Jags did beat the Texans. I don't think both teams are great, but I do think this is kind of diminishing the Chiefs a little bit. Again, they were playing with Lamar Jackson, so I'm not going to knock them too much, but I just don't think the Ravens are fantastic. Also, my Ravens did not make the playoffs. It's looking better and better each week. But I do think that knocks the Chiefs a little bit. I was thinking the line was going to move down to like 3, 2.5, 3 after the Ravens sucked. But it's staying right at that 3.5, which makes me a little worried to take the Jags because I do think it might be a little too popular, especially at home. But yeah, that's my thought on that game. And I wish I had more player props for you, and especially touchdown props for you guys. But like I said, I think it's going to be a field goal fest. So I'm saying a little. I'm getting a little cautious on taking a touchdown score in this game because I do really think it's going to be a low scoring. So under and Jags would be my play, but again, all in on the field goals. That's going to be my play. Over 3.5 field goals, 5 units for me. Please don't put 5 units on it. I just had a really good Sunday, so I'm getting a little greedy. But do you have anything else in the NFL or MLB you want to touch on before we quickly jump to NHL, which has their season starting tomorrow?
Yeah, just touching on Pacheco, I actually saw somebody play Kareem Hunt over rushing yards, so that would play along with the Pacheco under. So yeah, I don't hate that at all. But yeah, I agree. I like the field goals. What's the odds on that? Both teams over 33.
Minus 120.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like that should happen every game.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially Butker's like what, second or third best kicker in the league in fantasy points. Cam Little's up there as well. So that's a chip shot. I know 33.5 yards. It's not long at all. That should happen on paper. I wish I put more money on that, but yeah.
I like that. But yeah, no, I guess I don't really have much more on this game. I did lock in the Phillies. I bitched out. I used a boost. I just took them plus 1.5, so it's like minus 135. I think I got it too. So we'll take that, and then yeah, like I said, I basically need ETN to get hurt tonight to win my game. So not wishing that upon him, but
right,
if it happens early, like first play, first play. Just a tweak, just something tweaked.
Yeah,
don't want to rush him back.
NHL, we have our season starting tomorrow, which seems crazy. Can't believe NHL is already here. But we have 3 games starting tomorrow: Blackhawks, Panthers, Penguins, Rangers, Avs, Kings. Do you have any bets or predictions for the 3 games for the NHL opener tomorrow?
So I don't have anything in the first 2. But gosh, I will be watching 5 o'clock start for the first game, 8 o'clock after that, 10:30, just bang, 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 all on ESPN. Cannot wait for those. I like the night game. I like the Kings quite a bit, and it looks like they're actually taking some money since I last checked. So I'll probably lock that in sooner rather than later. But they're like basically a pick 'em right now. They were underdogs, but basically I'm high on the Kings going into the year. I'm a little bit more down on Colorado compared to where they've been the last few years. And I think a lot of people just, jumping back into hockey, see Colorado at a pick 'em price where they've been one of the more dominant franchises in the last few seasons, and they'll probably jump all over that. But I like the Kings this year. I think the Kings are live to win the Stanley Cup. Looking like it's going to be Darcy Kemper in goal for the Kings against Scott Wedgwood for Colorado, which obviously don't know how those two are going to end up doing this year, but just career-wise, I like Kemper over Wedgwood. And yeah, I just think the Kings are, they're at home. It's going to be a big atmosphere, I would have to believe, for that game. Nice pick 'em price on LA, and a team that I'm just ultimately higher on than Colorado. So that's probably the way I'm looking in that game.
Yeah, I was did not know playoff hockey was starting, but then I saw the Kings on there. I was like, Ethan's probably going to take those Kings, especially at the minus. It's pretty much a pick 'em now. I'm seeing. I am seeing money coming in on the Kings, like you said. So I don't hate that at all. Panthers, Blackhawks, again, that you can maybe fade the Stanley Cup champ, but Blackhawks are plus 230. I don't really feel like getting involved that early in a playoff or in a NHL underdog with the season just starting. And then Penguins, Rangers, yeah, no feel in that game for me. But yeah, I don't hate the Kings at all. I'm excited to talk hockey. We will be starting our hockey show. 5-minute wager is that show's name. We haven't historically been doing that super consistently, but we're going to try to get a video out at least once a week, just a real quick one, 3 to 5 minutes, giving you guys our NHL picks. There is a pretty big slate that looks like majority of teams are playing on Thursday this week. So stay tuned for a potential Thursday video coming out in the NHL. And then we talked before the show, we are going to try to start NBA more as well, maybe focusing on player props. So if you're interested in player props in the NBA, make sure you check out Better in Green, where we're going to try to post more consistently about both NBA and NHL. They're just not our biggest sports, Obviously, it's football season right now. Football is king everywhere, but especially over here at Better and Green. But we are going to try to give you guys some more content over there. Do you have anything you want to add tonight before we sign off here?
Well, one thing I'll just say about fading the Stanley Cup champ, I've tried that. I think like 5 or 6 years in a row, and it has not won yet. So I'm not doing it tomorrow, which means Blackhawks will probably win that game. But yeah, I've done that over and over and over, and for whatever reason in hockey, it doesn't work. I wouldn't expect it to work tomorrow with a back-to-back champ as well, who, um, you know, knows what it's like to win, and then come into a fresh season. And obviously, they got the win last year because I lost that bet. And then last thing I'll say, I can't find the odds right now, but I'd also be interested in the Rangers minus a half goal first period tomorrow. I don't know what that's going to be set at, but Pittsburgh's going to be a full-fledged fade team. They're as old as it gets. And the Rangers had such a down year last year. I think they come out this year wanting to get their season off to a hot start and become the team that they once are supposed to be, I guess. But yeah, other than that, I've locked in the Phillies plus 1.5. As of now, that's my only bet. Like Milwaukee, lean Jags, like the under in the football game, like the Kings tomorrow, like the Rangers, minus a half goal first period for tomorrow.
Yeah, Phillies Dodgers is live. I'm on the Phillies. I'm on the over in that game. Cubs Brewers. I don't know. I might not have a bet on that one. NFL. I'm all over the kicking props in both teams pretty heavily, which makes me like the under as well. And I do have the Jags locked in on the spread. In regards to NHL, I don't hate the Kings play. Don't know if I'll get there, but that would be my one lean in the NHL. Wish we could fade the Panthers, but I don't think the Blackhawks is the team to do that. And yeah, I'm excited for this upcoming week. We do have a pretty fishy week in college football. I just started to look at the lines. That Michigan game super fishy. That Texas game super fishy. So maybe some areas for sharp bets this week in college football. We do have Wednesday college football as well. So won't have a show out there. They're not the greatest games, but maybe check us out on Twitter. We might have a couple Wednesday football bets for you. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to continue to roll with college football, NFL. We're going to start our NHL show. Stay tuned for our NBA show. We cover EPL and Premier League soccer over here on our page, as well as MMA. And I know you do some racing stuff as well. So make sure you check out Better and Green. Again, our biggest page is on YouTube. If you guys do have the time, make sure you like, subscribe over on our YouTube. It helps us continue to do this. But then until then, guys, good luck tonight. Stay tuned for this upcoming week. Great week in NFL. Great week in college football. Start of NHL. So it's a good time in sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Later.